I am about to tell you the craziest theory I have ever heard about race. And the one little sliver of it that might have a teeny bit of scientific backing. Hasta diga Iba, beloved sibling, it is I, Aaron Freeman, a sciencey optimist, thinking as I often do about crazy stuff. How did the world end up with white people? According to the Nation of Islam, there was a guy named Yakob who was a great, brilliant scientist, so brilliant that he had two brains, a gigantic head, and he was known as the big-headed scientist, which really wouldn't have been a problem if he'd lived where he was born, which was down in the inner world beneath the surface of the earth. But because Jakob lived on the surface, he was ridiculed and had bullying problems and was thus filled with rage and anger and evil, and was of course determined to wreak vengeance on the world. Yakob was an expert in genetics, and in the course of analyzing his own genome realized that he had both a gene for blackness and a gene for brownness. Long story short, he and a group of his followers set upon an ambitious 600-year, he died after 150, but it was a 600-year process to selectively lighten the skin color of his followers so that in the end, after 600 years, they would be this blonde hair, blue-eyed, bleached out devil race who would rule the world for 6,000 years. The theory is as goofy as all the other creation stories. Maybe not as goofy as the Big Bang, but it's silly. I started thinking about it because a friend of mine mentioned that sometimes African Americans, as we age, lose eye color and our brown eyes become blue. So I started doing a little homework on that phenomenon and discovered that that's not actually the case. That what happens is that all of us are shaded, all of us are brown because of melanin, the pigment that reflects brown light. And as we age, sometimes our production of melanin will diminish, and both Negroes and our melanin-challenged siblings can become paler, and our eyes color can pale out and can appear to be blue or green or white or whatever. But in the course of doing that homework, I discovered Dr. Hans Heiberg of the University of Copenhagen, who is a molecular biologist and a cellular biologist. And his work indicates that everybody on Earth with blue eyes is descended from a single common ancestor. Not Yakob, and not because of any animus against brown people. You have no idea. This story is really weird. I'll put a link below, and also a link to Dr. Heiberg's work. But there is science to argue that the blue-eyed people are descended from a single individual, which is as close as the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, bleached-out devil race shtick gets to any actual science. I am reminded of the great physicist Niels Bohr, who reportedly responded to a colleague by saying, "Your theory is obviously crazy. The only question is whether it is crazy enough to have any possibility of being true." Thank you immensely much for watching all the way to the end, beloved sibling. I post new, sciencey, optimistic videos every Monday through Friday. If you enjoyed this one, please like The Excitable Ape on Facebook, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and share with someone you know who might themselves enjoy some sciencey optimism. I am Aaron Freeman, not a scientist, but a sciencey optimist, and I hope you have a non-racially charged weekend and a non-racially charged life as you continue to science the day.